Probably not, and not only because we are in the semi-final for the third time in our history, but as well for the manner and the way we did it, not only by the way we played, but as well with the circumstances and the amount of injuries that we have. So I think overall, I think it shows the character of this team, of this club, and is a night to be very proud of.
Alex from the BBC.
Hi Mikel, congratulations. A great performance from the whole team, but could you have a word on Declan Rice, another excellent performance from him against
Yeah, I can talk to him. Obviously, he's been decisive in the tie. Today, in a different way, I think it was immense. His presence, the power that he showed, how composed he was without the ball. I think he lifted the team in many moments and turned the game in our favor. And I think that's what you need, players at this level to step up and have big contribution, and he certainly has done that.
Sam from the Daily Telegraph.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
We spoke a lot before this tie about belief and conviction. What does this performance this week and last week do for your team looking at this tournament and the next few years?
But the feeling that we had is a reality, basically, and the inner feeling that I had before the tie, and what the players were transmitting and how prepared I could feel the team that we are ready. We are ready to compete against anybody, and now we have to continue to do that because I think we have some momentum now.
James, Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You never played down the stakes of this game. You always said it's a big challenge, a big test. Having come through that, do you think that a result like this can help your team make that final step to go from becoming challengers to winners? Can this give them the fuel and the belief that they need?
Well, it's certainly another massive step. Where we finished last year and the way we've done it this year against the team with the highest honors in the competition, it's incredible. But as well, big credit to them. You know, it was my first time as a coach in that dugout, and today I realized after 3 minutes that in this stadium anything is possible. I mean, they are specialists of creating such a chaos, such a belief, and very difficult to understand really what's going on in the game and have certain certainty about how we control it. But I think the players showed a lot of maturity.
Ollie?
Hi, Mikel. What does that say about the character of Saka, that he missed that penalty in the way he missed it, and then he came back and scored a crucial goal for you?
I can go on and on with individuals and a lot of different cases that we had in that team, but with Bukayo again, he stepped up. He didn't score, obviously. That could be a turning point emotionally in the game because he gives them a lot of belief. But then the way he handled the situation, the way he played afterwards, and the personality that he showed at his age, the first time that he plays in this stadium, incredible. Very focused, very determined, and I mean, we know the challenge and the opportunity ahead, and go and embrace it.
You've gone with the same team as what you did last week. They've got a couple of changes with Valverde back in that midfield. Does that alter anything of your approach?
Yeah, within the formation and the approach that they have, obviously at the end the players make the difference and their qualities. So we will understand what they want to do first, and then what are the strengths and weaknesses of them.
How important are the first 15 minutes of this game in terms of keeping a check on the atmosphere and just keeping things in check?
It's always very important to start with a positive vibe, good feeling, the fact that you are controlling and dominating the game. So we will try to do that, but it's going to be a long game, so it's not only about the start.
Is it a case of just winning it minute by minute?
It's like this, action by action. At this level, every action matters, every action changes momentum and the way the game is developing. So be very focused, very determined, and go for it.
In the Bernabéu, look at him, fan, look at that. Oh my God.
It's the thing is, this watching Martinelli, and the first game, I didn't think Arsenal gave him the ball nearly enough. And he's just put the ball in the back of that in that practice session every time, bang, every one.
It's easy without any opponents.
Yeah, but Mbappe looks very sharp, I must say, the other end. He's doing a bit of sprinting there, and it looked lively.
Yeah, look, there could be goals galore for Real Madrid. We've seen it, but for Arsenal as well. For the first time in Arteta's reign, actually, we've seen 3 goals from fast breaks in 3 consecutive Premier League games. That's pretty impressive, and they could really exploit Real Madrid with that.
Yeah, and that's something that might be happening tonight if the Real Madrid get lots of the ball and they need to break with numbers. Saka on postseason in an Arsenal shirt.
I must say that I think if Saka didn't get back fit for this tie, I wouldn't have given Arsenal a chance to get through this tie. I'm no disrespect to all the other players. He just gives them something. He's a weapon that they can't replace that. He's a player who's got a huge consistency. His output is massive. And I think in these moments he's showing consistently now over this part of his career where he can come in and affect games like this.
Well, that's where they have to play, Rio, don't they? They have to play wide. Martinelli on Lucas Vazquez, Saka on Alaba. I mean, they're the positions. Real Madrid have got 3 of the main defenders missing. They are down to the bare bones defensively. That is the area you have to exploit. And I would just be feeding those 2 players constantly. Every time you get the ball, Martinelli, you're not even looking. Martinelli, get him at Lucas Vazquez, because he's too quick and he's too skillful for him. Saka this side. David Alva's missed a lot of football. Great pro, incredible career, but he played principally at centre defence. He's now stuck wide on the left-hand side of the defence. Saka should get at him as much as he possibly can. That's where they're vulnerable, Madrid.
You played as a winger. When you see the team sheet and you see a defender, you go, you know what? He's not as comfortable out there. And my superpowers outweigh his weaknesses massively.
Get at him. Get at him.
But I think Arsenal, is important they retain possession and then feed those guys. Give them the ball to take Real Madrid on.
Okay, but you know what? It is, if you didn't know already, it is a huge night here at the Bernabéu. We can barely hear ourselves think, but we love that. Nothing against that at all. These are a couple of European football cathedrals that will be hosting semi-finals tonight, because in addition, of course, to Real Madrid against Arsenal here at the Bernabéu to come back in this tie, but can Arsenal get the job done tonight?
Soak it up and try and just roll with a punch.
Hello again, everyone, and there he is, the impassive Carlo Ancelotti. He's seen with David Alaba, Jude Bellingham and Vinícius Júnior all back and starting. Eduardo Camavinga is suspended. Fede Valverde stays in midfield. Kylian Mbappe's domestic. Real Madrid's front 3, but in reality, it's about managing the game tonight. What they've all been saying in this competition, Ali. They're into the semis, but
they thrilled Mikel Arteta. Those 2 games, those 2 results, I think will be yes, he'd have fancied his team to get through, but the level of performance will be beyond his wildest dreams. Where do we start? I know Saliba gives the goal away, but the back 4 in general, the 2 full-backs outstanding. Middle of the park, excellent. Up front, Mourinho, Martinelli, Saka worked their socks off and posed all sorts of problems. However, Declan Rice.
That's the point I was going to make. It's unfair maybe over the 2 games to single anybody out, but you have to single him out because he was a colossus for Arsenal.
He was monumental. He was the best player over the 2 games by some stretch. His performance tonight, yes, the 2 goals he scored last week were nothing short of outrageous. Absolutely outrageous set plays. But his level of performance tonight was quite magnificent.
So the holders are out. It will be a different name on the trophy this season. Look at those Arsenal supporters celebrating inside the Bernabéu. 16 years since they got this far in the Champions League, and who's to say it can't be their year? Paris Saint-Germain are next, but they've dealt with Real Madrid emphatically. They've hammered them on aggregate. They've won in the Bernabéu tonight. It's a brilliant night for Arsenal. Congratulations to every single one of them, and we will see them in the semi-finals against Luis Enrique and Paris Saint-Germain.
Thank you very much, Darren and Ali. What a journey it's been for this Arsenal side as the players go and celebrate with their fans even from a distance. The love is definitely not lost between them. It's so powerful. It is such an amazing night for this team. 6 years it took this side to return to Europe's top table. Look at these scenes here. 6 years it took. Last year they were knocked out in the quarterfinals. This year they've gone one better, and wow, have they done it in style. They have knocked out the holders emphatically, the side who believe that this trophy is theirs and only theirs. The 15-time winners, Real Madrid, are humbled in their own backyard. What an incredible performance. The togetherness of this Arsenal side is absolutely incredible. The joy that we can see here. I've got to ask you, Martin Keown, Arsenal invincible, Arsenal through and through. Look at this. I mean,
great
what does this mean?
You know, celebrating with the fans there. It doesn't get much better than this. You're into a semi-final, the first time since 2009. Declan Rice's performance, Saka. I was really pleased for Martinelli because, you know, the job they did defensively, coming back and then both of them to score on the night. Saka missing the penalty didn't affect him at all. An incredible performance. He's only recently, 2 weeks he's been back from injury. Amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. I tell you who else was amazing. Declan Rice, man of the match tonight, man over the two legs. Let's hear from him now, speaking to Becky.
He just started and we hadn't even cut to us yet. I said, how are you feeling? And he launched into it, Dec. Go on, you've got the Player of the Match trophy in your hands.
Yeah, back to back. Look, I think it's just such a special night for this club. It's a historic night for this club. We have an objective in this competition. We want to play the best teams and we want to win this competition. And there was a lot of talk coming here about them coming back because they've done it so many times before. But we had so much belief and confidence from that first leg that we had enough to come here and win the game, and not just win the game. We knew we was going to suffer, but we knew we was going to win. And yeah, we had it in our mind, and then we done it in real life. So yeah, what a night for the club.
Miles, come in here. I mean, what a season you've had, period. But how was your first experience of the Bernabéu?
It was incredible. Honestly, when you see it on TV, it's a lot different to when you come live. So when I first walked out, it's a lot, you know, but just got to take in a moment and have fun, you know.
You are Champions League semi-finalists. This is the first time that Arsenal have done this since 2009. We've spoken about creating your own history, but what does that mean to you all?
It's massive, you know. I sensed it before I signed to the club that we was on an upward trajectory as a club, and you know, I felt it in the players we've got and the direction we want to go in. It's been tough in the Premier League because we lost out last year on a point. This year it slipped away from us, but in this competition we've done amazingly well, and this club's going to do special things over the next few years. We all fully believe it. We have full trust in this manager. He's unbelievable, and we've got players like him coming through, Ethan, other young lads who really want it as well. So we've got a real good mix, and look, like you said, semi-finals is massive for us, and we just want to take tonight in because we want to take it one step at a time. And now PSG next, who are an amazing team.
Well, let's face it, guys, it was never going to be a low-key evening tonight, was it, when you come and play here? Just talk us through some of the emotions in that first half, especially for you. Who wants to take this one?
Let him go.
Okay, Miles, come on.
Come on, boy. Wait, can you say it one more time, please?
Just the emotions of that first half that you went through. It was never going to be a low-key game. Obviously, the penalty didn't quite go your way, and then, Dec, we'll get to you on what happens with Kylian.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, the fans, they don't make it easy for us, but as a team, we know it's going to be like this when we came. So as long as we stuck together and, you know, keep backing each other through the highs and lows, we'll be fine.
5 minutes it took with that VAR check in that first half.
I knew it wasn't a penalty. Look, don't get me wrong, I had my arm on him, but you have to do that in the box. You have to try and stop him. Someone was going to let him go, but I knew it wasn't a pen. I'm an honest guy. I said to him straight away, and I said to Vasquez, it's not a pen. And I would admit, if I pulled him down, I would say, but he just fell to the floor and it wasn't a pen, and I was fully confident it would get overturned. And we just had to stay calm. We was a bit naive again at times. We just had to control the game a little bit better. But in the end, we've got the job done, and it's, like I said, it's a historic night for the club. And yeah, honestly, I'm lost for words. It's just very special.
Very quickly, PSG.
Yeah, top team. Played them once already. We feel like they're a different team to back then. We've seen what they can do, but also we see what Villa done to them last night and caused them a lot of problems. So, look, we'll be working hard. We now have to go to Ipswich on Sunday, which is going to be a tough game because we want to secure that, keep going and keep winning matches in the Prem, and then also, like you said, focus on this competition.
Yeah, well, massive congratulations. Enjoy this one. Take it in. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's incredible. Do you know the last time Real Madrid were knocked out of the quarterfinals in the Champions League? They were beaten by Monaco 21 years ago in 2004. Miles Lewis-Kelly wasn't even born then. And this tells you a lot about this Arsenal team. They are a young side, led by a young manager who's learning on the job as well. How impressed are you with what Mikel Arteta?
Yes, very impressed. I mean, they were excellent over two legs, but they're in the semi-finals. That's all they're in. You know, we want them to win, and once they win it, we'll eulogise about Mikel, about Declan, about everybody else. But they've done the hard part. They're in the semi-finals. Got an equally difficult tie to come up, but you have to get over the line, Reshman. It's fine getting into the quarters, the semis. You have to go on and win it. But they deserve every credit for what they've done over these two legs. They beat Madrid, a poor Madrid, I thought, but they've beaten them and beaten them convincingly. So we'll wait and see, you know, what challenge PSG come and bring, because they're a different side to what they originally faced in the early on in the competition.
Yeah, very much so. But what impressed you most about the way that Arsenal dealt with this game?
I think it's the way that they managed it. I think we've watched them in the Champions League in previous years, and they've been naive, as Declan mentioned there, and they've been punished at times, and they kind of haven't turned up on when it's really counted and mattered. Here today, I think against the champions, and over the 2 legs, they bossed it. They absolutely bossed it, and Declan was at the forefront of that, I thought. But also equally, I would say Saka in terms of defining and being decisive. And we've talked about it, and I've debated it quite a lot over the years about is he world class? So Saka, 100% world class footballer who will decide matches now for the rest of his career, I believe, at the top level, at the top table, alongside the best players. And I think he would have gone into this game just like Declan Rice and gone, right, on their team they've got Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, that's against me. Oh, you've got Vinícius and Mbappe. Saka will be judging himself against those players. That's what happens. They've come out on top today. It's only 1 game over 2 games, I get that. But it's a chance to go, right, I'm at the top table today, and I've actually sat here comfortably and overshadowed the people that were meant to be better or considered better than me. Yeah. Right, let's start talking. Where am I? I think it's a great confidence boost.
Do you know that the context we put it into, without a striker, Havertz injured, Jesus out, Saka, 101 days or so it was to get him back. He gets back just in time, just 2 weeks ago, and he's performing like this. It's incredible. But the team performance really stood out. The low block, the 2 wingers, and I think Martinelli and Saka deserve a big mention because with the tenure for Arteta, they really have stood up for him. And tonight it was fitting that they scored the 2 goals. But look, this is an Arsenal team. Some way to go. PSG next. Yeah. Lovely.